guys out here, my friends, 5 in the last 7 years. Don't send people to Skid Row. It's not a program. It's a place to die.
Yeah. First of all, why we can't be inside? That's the solution for veterans homelessness. Not only in Los Angeles, but the state. It should be a mecca for veterans. Underutilized buildings, promised housing. Where all that money go to?
I'm proud to say that of the first $1 billion in medical funding that you've graciously given us in the CARES Act, more than 20% of that, $205 million, has gone toward our homeless veterans and toward programs that help outreach to veterans and make sure that their food insecurity issues, that housing, rapid rehousing for them and their families are addressed.
Illegal leases. For the last 6-7 years, Judge Otero ruled illegal leases. Now they're trying to modify them to make them legal. What's going on here? For veterans, there's a solution. That's all we're asking. You got it in your hands.
I hear you. I appreciate that, Dave.
And as we often focus on homelessness, are factors in their health. Chronic conditions are part of it, but where they live, how they live, is a huge part of their ability to succeed in combating this virus and succeed across this time.
It's just as easy as, anyone can sign a lease agreement for one of the controversial leases that can be done to expedite housing or create some type of safety services for the veterans. And it's true that trust is very broken. There's been a lot of promises that haven't been fulfilled. There's been, it's just constant. There needs to be more involvement. There needs to be board better input from homeless veterans. That's one of the biggest things. If they're on a board that's overseeing the property and planning for the property, they should be talking to the stakeholders for the homeless veterans. So I don't see that really happening at all.
Well, look, I appreciate your willingness to meet with me, Rob. Absolutely. We can appreciate the direct line that we have with you, the direct line that you have not only with the leadership here, but in my office. I think that underscores the seriousness of our communication, so it's a good channel, and I appreciate that. But I don't want to do that here where we have to share your personal information, but we'll make sure that we get your name, and we'll dig into that for sure.
I have all my information right here.
Okay, we'll make sure we get your names, and we'll dig into it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
I'm from Virginia too.
Well, I'm a veteran.
From Virginia?
Yeah, I moved here a month ago.
Okay.
So I know all about DC.
Okay.
All right. I just don't want to get into a position where the encampment gets cleared, and then the next day we have bodies showing up and they're not able to be registered in with Baptist School.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, like my charge here is to take care of vets. Full stop. Everyone. The president say take care of some vets. He said take care of vets. He didn't say fight like hell for some vets. He said fight for all of them.
Not live.
Congressman Takano, why did you dispense with the reading of H.R. 711 in a voice vote before an empty hall of Congress? Congressman Takano, why did you dispense with the reading of H.R. 711 before an empty chamber of Congress in a voice vote? Congressman Takano, why did you dispense with the reading of H.R. 711 before an empty chamber of Congress in a voice vote? Congressman Takano, who wrote H.R. 711? Thank you, Congressman Takano.
For what purposes does the gentleman from California seek recognition?
Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to take from the Speaker's table the bill H.R. 711 with the Senate amendment thereto and concur in the Senate amendment.
The clerk will report the title of the bill and the Senate amendment.
H.R. 711, an act to amend the West Los Angeles Leasing Act of 2016 to authorize the use of certain funds received pursuant to leases entered into under such act and for other purposes. Senate amendment. At the end, add the following. Section 5, inclusion.
Gentleman from California.
Dispense with the reading.
Without objection, the reading is dispensed with. Is there objection to the request of the gentleman from California? Without objection, the Senate amendment is agreed to, and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
John and Ken, KFI, and Deborah Marquez News. Well, there's a camp inside on the veterans' property, inside the gate. And then there are all these crazy people on the outside in tents that some charity bought the tents and they put big American flags on the tents to try to fool people into thinking that they're all veterans.
Whether or not you're inside or outside?
Well, I think my guess, I don't know, is that whether you're really a veteran or not. I think they're giving space on the inside to veterans. There's a school just down the road from there. I can't imagine that you think this is a good thing for the rest of us. Don't give me this human being thing. It's like a human outdoor zoo, a mental institution. They're taking them out of Skid Row and then they're spreading them around. I'm helping the vets and you're not. Enough of that pompous self-righteousness. No. You have a bunch of saps who come by. I see them on the Nextdoor app all the time. But there's the rest of the people, the silent majority, who are so disgusted and outraged and overwhelmed. These guys need to be forcibly put into drug rehab or a mental institution. Everybody hates it. To call it a blight doesn't do justice. The government is supposed to take crazy drug addicts and mental patients off the street. That's what we pay taxes for. And these crazy people are wandering all over the business district, terrorizing and driving businesses out and driving offices out. People are moving and leaving. And you can't even eat outdoors there.
If vets show up at the VA for help outside of admission hours, there's no on-site shelter for them to immediately go, so they can end up on the street outside. Also, a main building to enroll in programs is close to a mile walk from the encampment.
It's also requested some type of immediate same-day sheltering that operates 24 hours.
Some of the suggestions that have been made we're actually working on now.
Chief of Homeless Programs at the VA here acknowledges more convenience could help and says they do have shelter for the entire encampment.
For every one of those veterans that are out there right now, we can have a bed for them to move into a bed right now. Well, our role is to end veterans' homelessness. That's our role. But we can't force veterans off the street.
But I can't let you do that. I can't let you go into a building that's not transitioned into a housing unit.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about here soon.
Those are the laws. Those are the rules that we operate under. So building 209 is one. Next year, we'll have 170 more units come online. If you're eligible for the HUD voucher, you can get the voucher. That can help pay for it. And those units will be all for veterans who are formerly homeless, who are transitioning into that level of, housing.
Clown's job to a real man.
Do it. Speech over there on Veterans Day. Everybody clapping hands. Stop clapping hands for this. I talked to your engineer. How hard is it to take it? You don't have any money because they got the money in DC. You can't operate if you don't have no money.
Congress has authorized over $300 million for seismic retrofit of buildings on campus, but only so far a portion of that has been used. And so my question to the VA is, do you see that as a source of funding going forward? And if Congress is able to provide that funding in the short term, can that even potentially speed up development of housing on campus?
Hi, this is Mac. We do have a list of replacement projects to include our critical care center and things like that are not seismically sufficient. They're deficient and they will be replaced. In the development on the North Campus, the enhanced use leases, part of the project is not for VA to spend money retrofitting a building that's going to be further developed by an enhanced use lease.
I'm a veteran. Where do I go, sir? I'm a homeless veteran. Where do I go? Where are you going to refer me? Where are you going to refer me? Where are you going to refer me?
To the Welcome Center.
Really? You got a soccer club using the Welcome Center. I can't even believe you said that. You shut it down. You got the FC Breakers Los Angeles using that. This is a lie. You're lying straight through your teeth. 2019 November, Westside LA Breakers FC. You gave them a lease. They're paying nothing for the Welcome Center. There's no bed in there with a veteran in it. Oh, answer that question. Let's go over there. Let's go see how many veterans you got in the Welcome Center right now. There's no veterans in the Welcome Center. That's right. With what? Landscaping outside by a soccer club that hasn't done shit in 2 years? Dude, you guys got to stop lying.
We have nothing. We got 14 beds, half of which are being occupied right now. That's it. Nothing else. And there's more feet out there because there is nowhere for us to go. Needless to say, Building 212 is empty. The Haven used to be up in there. I know the Haven.
Thank you.
That's the Haven. 14 beds, half of which are occupied. Why is that not open for female veterans? Why is there nowhere else on the ground open for female veterans? The Housing Authority, from March until today, their excuse is, we don't have the people to process the paperwork. So in essence, homeless vets here, homeless vets out there, homeless vets on the ground that cannot get into apartments because the Housing Authority, the county, is saying they don't have the personnel.
Here on the property?
No, not on the property. It's in the community. But it's a building solely for veterans. And, it's supposed to have opened on May 1st. That didn't happen. A lot of these veterans out here have applied for it, did all the paperwork, all the stuff they were told to do to get in that building. And not only did they not open it on time, when they did finally open it, I think it was beginning of August that they started letting people in, they trickled them in one by one. You know what I mean? And that's disheartening to all these veterans out here who have all done the same thing, including myself, who have all done the same, fill out the same paperwork, went through the same process, but yet they're hand-picking who they want to put in there, one by one.
You're right about that. And
that's I'm telling you, that has a lot of these veterans.
we can
out here
affect that,
discouraged.
I think. If a homeless veteran has a positive test for COVID, has no place else to isolate, put him in building 214 and not return to isolation rooms.
Okay, so are we opening up 217 and 214?
Not until you do a couple of rounds of COVID testing.
So you can be out here then, right?
Country building 217.
You can be out here on the street, right? That's okay. It's not okay to be in there.
For the entire time during the pandemic, have gotten reports that we do not have consistent access to testing based on the same criteria all the way across the VA, no matter, are you confident, and can you go back and provide me with assurance and documentation that in every VISN, we have a uniform access to testing, clear criteria across the board that both veterans and employees can understand, and are you promoting, and that you are promoting that access to testing?
Madam Chair, we'd be happy to provide that. And yes, and to those listening today, we would so appreciate this group and those listening helping us carry the message that if there is a veteran concerned about the symptoms they have or needing a test, VA is here for them. We have more than adequate testing supply. We can actually conduct up to 60,000 a week, and we welcome them to come and see us.
So if you're a homeless veteran and you would like transitional housing on this 400-acre federal property that's a soldier's home for homeless veterans, you have a physical disability, or you're a senior citizen, you're a homeless veteran, you're disabled, but you're not a drug addict, where can you go?
Well, it depends. So we have CTRS, we have the bridge home, there's directions.
Okay, but if you don't want a tent, if you're let's say you're 65 years old, you're physically disabled, you're a veteran. Okay, let's say you're a combat veteran.
Go into a bridge home.
But the bridge home is like an $11 million tent. It's not like a real, I'm talking about like services, transitional housing, that kind of stuff.
It's a big tent.
Well, we have placements though all throughout LA County.
Right.
If you have facilities for the veterans, why are they out there on the street, on the sidewalks?
I just said the gate's open. Come on in.
Well, that's why a lot of us are here.
So, all that being said, our advocates who are a little testy out there are going to get up in arms when they see that there's another ball field being built.
Okay.
That being said, there's a FOIA request out there, and the response to the FOIA request is going out in a week or two. So I'm going to try and call Tony from UCLA, their veteran spokesman, and talk to him today about where we're at with it and what we're doing and how this will likely get out faster than they want. They have a veteran story, not a veteran story, but a player story.
When I struggle with my own pain, my fellow veterans will support me, and I will reach out in the darkness and grasp their helping hand. I will never quit, I will never give up, and I will never accept defeat. I am a United States veteran.
All right.